Okay, today I'm going to show you two great tools that you have as a Dibble Middle School parent. One is our Dibble Middle School website, and that website is dibblemiddle.ok.pdm.schoolandsites.com, and the others is our online gradebook, which will give you the ability to access your child's grades and progress throughout the year. That website is www.wingage.com/dibblegradebook/login ASPX. If you didn't get both of those websites, it's okay. We are handing out business cards which have both of these links located on them, along with the reverse side of where you can write down any kind of information you would like, plus your username and password. The first one I'd like to talk about is our Dibble Middle School site. If you go here, you have your home page, which this is the page you'll access first. It is a picture, you'll see pictures of our middle school students along with a menu at the top and then a subcategory on the side. Where you will find your most information, most of the reasons why you're going to locate this information will be on the side. You'll find your principal's information, your guidance counselor information, a school directory, library, lunchroom calendar, along with a handbook, any kind of forms that may go home with your child throughout the year. So if your child forgets them at school, you can't access them online. For the purposes of today, I want to just kind of show you our school directory. If you press into school directory, you will come up with a page with all of the teachers that teach middle school students. Some of these are teachers and some of these are coaches. On your coaches page, you may not find as much information because they teach high school and junior high classes. But as far as the content areas, social studies, English, history, math, science, you will find a brief biography, information, links, emails, and assignments to each one of your child's teachers. I am Ann Beck, so I will go ahead and just access mine. Go here, you see a lot of different other hyperlinks about me. For the purposes of today, assignments is really the most important. If you press assignments, you will find an embedded lesson plan. On my lesson plan, I have my objectives I'm covering along with our topic, which is in yellow. And then in blue, I've actually hyperlinked our assignments. Not all teachers do it the same way, but I will take a minute just to kind of show you that if you press a hyperlinked worksheet, I do put that online so that my kids are able to access it outside of school hours when I may not be able to give you a worksheet or handout that you were supposed to have. That way I don't have to give it to you and you can still continue to work even if you forgot it at home. But I'm a 6th and 7th grade teacher, so if you have a 6th or 7th grade child, they will have to have me throughout the year. Another teacher that would be 7th and 8th grade would be Mr. Lecklider. Mr. Lecklider has his lesson plans online also. If you go to his homepage, you do not have to press his assignments tab, which is right there. You can just scroll down and you will find his lesson plan. He color codes his everything just like I do. It has his lesson, also his grades, and assignments, so you are able to look at what your child was supposed to do that day and be able to kind of confer in the grade book, which I'll show you in a minute, on what was expected to do that day and what grade was taken. So that kind of gives me a good opportunity to go into the WinGauge. WinGauge is our online gradebook. It is the same gradebook every teacher uses to record your child's grades. I am also a parent of a student at Dibble Public Schools. My child is in elementary, so for this purposes I will access his grades and kind of show you around and what it looks like as a parent login. So every parent will get a login username. Usually it is the username of an email that you've given your school to contact you, along with an encrypted password. The encrypted password is a very hard password to remember. It will be a combination of lowercase, uppercase, symbols, and numbers. Once you receive that, you can log in. You'll see a summary, but mostly you'll see assignments, eligibility. In WinGauge, really assignments is really the main thing you're going to look at. Okay, so for Jackson, my son, if I go into assignments and I'm in math, then I can view all of his assignments down here. Now, since this is a new 9 weeks, I am going to go ahead and go into the first 9 weeks because there's more assignments posted there. I may have to go in and then go out to refresh the page, but here are all the assignments that my son has had for the first 9 weeks. This is a good example and one I would like to use because there is some blanks here. We have confusion a lot of times is if a parent accesses a gradebook and sees the blank, they think automatically it's a 0. That is not the case. The blank could possibly mean that the child was absent, has not been scored yet. That child may not have been responsible for completing that assignment, or that assignment is late, like it's suspected, and it has not been still has not been scored yet. But given the information you get here, what day it's due, what date it was assigned, and the name of the assignment, if you have a question with a teacher, it is so much better to be able to tell them what assignment it is you have a question on versus just saying that on the 4th they have a blank there or it is a 0. But just to make things clear, if there is a blank there, there is not a 0 there. It is not counted against them. It is not averaged in. There is not an assignment there whatsoever. You have the date here that's assigned. You have the due date, you have the points possible, and the points received. If there's no points received, then that is not held against your child. If there is a 0 there, then that means that there was 0 points received. But if there's a blank there, then that means it has not been graded yet. So on this one, 100 out of 100, my son got a 78. Of course, his course was a 78, a mark of a C+. It was not incomplete. It was only scored once. Some tests will be scored more than once, so you'll see a 1, 2, or a 3 in this column. It was included in the average. So that's kind of how to read your your child's gradebook. Is date assigned, due date, how many points that assignment was worth, how many points your child received for it, their score, their letter grade marks. A lot of times we are just concerned with the letter grade. Is it an incomplete? Is there any comments that your child's teacher made on that? How many times is that score counted? And was that included in the average that I'm seeing? And so that's how you kind of read all of those columns. But just because there's a blank there does not necessarily mean there's a 0. It just means it's not been scored yet. And it's a very good tool to be able to look at this, look at the day it's due and assigned, and the name of the worksheet to be able to contact your child's parent or child's teacher to see what is going on with that assignment. Then again, you can go in through all of their courses. If I want to go into spelling, I can go in, kind of go out and come back in and see again all of his assignments. I know why there's these blanks there, so I don't have any questions over there anymore, but if I did, I could contact my child's teacher and say, you know, I see on unit 2.1.1 on page 25, my child doesn't have a grade there. Is that something he's missing? Is that something that's going to be a 0? You know, what is going on with that? And that your child's teacher will be able to recall that information and solve your question or problems faster than if we just said, I just see we have a 0 there. But that is kind of how you can read Gradebook. So these are 2 tools that you can really use every day. You can go back into the assignments, see what day something is assigned, go back in on Gradebook and see if there's a score there, and be able to really keep track of your child and the grades that they're receiving throughout the year and the progress that they're making. Again, any of these websites will be located on the back of a business card or on the front of the business card. There will be a spot for you to put any username or passwords that you may need to access this information, along with a site for this video that I've created to help you kind of navigate through these 2 sites. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I do have an email of ANNE25@me.com, or if you go into the school directory and you press my name and then you press email, you can also contact me that way, and I'll feel free to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.